Hey everyone, and welcome back to Teen Compass. You know, the podcast that helps you navigate life with confidence.
That's right. And today we're going deep on something I know a lot of you guys think about a lot.
Can you love yourself and still care about others?
It can feel like you have to pick just one.
Like if you're kind to yourself, that automatically makes you selfish.
That's something a lot of people think. It's a misconception, and it makes this whole self-love thing, well, tricky, right? We're taught as Christians to put others first.
Yeah, totally. So how do we figure out how to balance this?
Well, first we have to redefine what loving yourself actually is. We're not talking about me first.
You mean like what you see all over social media?
Exactly. We're not talking about ego or vanity or anything like that. Instead, think about it like seeing how valuable you are to God. Remember Genesis 1, verse 27, we're created in his image. That's pretty amazing.
Wow. Yeah, when you put it that way, it really changes how you see it. It's not about my ego, it's about how God sees me.
You're getting it. And here's the thing that might really surprise you. When you really love yourself, you can actually love other people better.
Really? How does that work? I always thought it was the other way around, like I had to sacrifice myself to take care of other people.
It's easy to think that. But imagine you have an empty cup and you're trying to pour from it.
You can't give what you don't have.
Right.
So you're saying if I don't take care of myself, I won't have anything to give to others.
Exactly. It's like running a marathon without training for it first. You'll just collapse. And it's the same for our emotions and our spirit.
That makes sense. Okay, so how do we fill our cups then? What does self-love actually look like, especially for us teens?
It starts with the simple things that you've probably heard before. Taking care of your body, making sure you get enough sleep, eating good food, exercising.
Okay, but let's be real. It's so easy to stay up late, scrolling on TikTok and eat whatever, and then just crash after school.
I know. It's all about balance. You can still have fun, but if you don't sleep or eat well, it will affect your mood and your energy. You won't even be able to focus at school.
That's true. I know when I don't sleep, I get so annoyed by everything.
See? So think of it like taking care of yourself is investing in yourself. Then you can be your best.
So it's not about how you look, but how you feel.
Yes. And it's not just physical. You also have to be kind to yourself when you make mistakes. We all mess up, and it's so easy to be so hard on ourselves.
Oh my gosh, yes. I overthink everything. I replay every little awkward moment over and over in my head.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
But instead of doing that, try to be kind to yourself like you would be kind to a friend. God forgives us when we mess up.
It's so easy to forget that.
We're not perfect, and that's okay.
Or is that okay?
Yeah. You have to embrace that you're not perfect, and then you can learn and grow.
So self-love also means like protecting your mind and your emotions, knowing when you need a break.
Yeah.
And having good people around you.
Absolutely. And setting boundaries. That's so important, especially for teens.
Boundaries. What does that even mean? I hear that word everywhere.
Just imagine drawing a line in the sand. You get to decide what you will and won't put up with. You have to be strong enough to say no to the things that drain you so you can say yes to the things that matter.
So it's not selfish, it's just about protecting your time and energy.
Exactly. You only have so much of both, and you can decide how to use them.
Okay, it makes sense. A lot of teens feel like they have to say yes to everything.
I know it's tough. But remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to take care of yourself. That's loving yourself, and it helps you love others better.
Okay, so we've talked about loving ourselves. But how does that connect to caring for other people? I don't really get how those two things go together.
Well, let's talk about that next. What does it look like to care for other people in a way that's good for them and for you?
We were talking about how self-love isn't actually selfish.
Exactly. And when you love yourself, that's actually how you can start to love others the right way.
Okay, so let's talk about that. What does caring for others even mean? Like, it's easy to say, be kind, but what does that look like for us teens?
Well, it's definitely more than just being nice to people. Putting love and compassion and empathy into action, Like you're thinking about what other people need, and sometimes you even put their needs before your own.
Okay, that makes sense. But isn't that like the opposite of what we were just saying about self-love and setting boundaries?
That's a really great question. It's all about balance. Philippians 2 verses 3-4 says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of the others."
So I don't have to completely forget about myself.
Right. You think about other people and what they need, and you find that sweet spot in the middle.
Okay.
And Jesus is like the perfect example of this.
Yeah, he was always taking care of people, healing people, feeding people, teaching. And then he died for us.
Exactly. But what most people forget is that Jesus also took time for himself. He rested, he prayed. When he needed a break, he took one.
Wait, are you saying Jesus took naps? I always thought he was like constantly helping everyone.
Even Jesus knew how important it was to take care of himself. And he was the Son of God.
Wow.
It shows us that it's okay to take a break. You can't pour from an empty cup, remember?
This makes it seem so much easier.
Yeah,
so how do we make this work for us? Like as teenagers, how do we love ourselves and care for others too?
Think of a tree. The roots are self-love. That's what keeps the whole tree strong and healthy. And then the branches are how we love others. Those branches reach out and give fruit to the world.
I love that. So like without good roots, the tree can't have healthy branches or fruit.
You got it. If we don't take care of ourselves, then we won't really be able to take care of other people. We'll just be doing it out of guilt or obligation.
Okay, that makes sense. So how do we do that in real life, like in high school and stuff?
Yeah. Remember those boundaries we were talking about? Maybe you have a friend who always needs help with homework, but it stresses you out.
Yes. It feels like you have to choose between being a good friend or like keeping your sanity.
That's where boundaries come in. You can still be there for your friend, but you can decide how much you can actually help.
So I don't have to always say yes.
Right. You could say, hey, I can help you with this for an hour, but then I need to do my own work.
That's a good idea.
You're still showing love and helping, but you're also taking care of yourself.
I think a lot of us feel bad saying no.
I know. Our world tells us we should always sacrifice ourselves. But remember that when you say no to something, you're actually saying yes to something else. Sometimes you have to take care of yourself so you can be there for other people.
That actually makes sense.
It's not selfish. You just know your limits. You know?
Yeah.
What else can we do?
Yeah, what else?
You have to look at why you're helping. Are you helping because you genuinely want to? Or are you just doing it because you feel like you should?
Whoa. I never thought about it like that.
If you're just trying to please people or make yourself look good, that's not real love.
Yeah.
When you actually care about someone, it makes it so much easier to find that balance.
This is really making me think about things. So how do we serve from a place of real love?
That's a great question, and it's something we'll definitely want to talk more about. One of the best ways to know you're helping for the right reasons is to do things that you actually enjoy.
Okay. I'm always down for that. But how does that help other people? It seems like two totally different things.
Maybe, but what are some things you're passionate about? Things that make you happy. What are you good at?
Well, I really love animals. And I like to be creative. Like I write poetry sometimes and do DIY projects.
That's awesome. So how could you use those things to help others?
I could volunteer at an animal shelter.
Yeah.
That would be a way to help animals and do something I love.
That's a great idea. Or you could write poems or make cards for people who are sick or in the hospital.
Wow, yeah. Little things like that could really brighten someone's day.
Right. When you find something you're good at and you enjoy and it helps someone else, it's the best feeling. You're not doing it because you have to, but because you want to.
I see what you mean. It's like where your passions and other people's needs come together.
Exactly. And it's so much better that way for you and the people you're helping.
I'm starting to get it now. When we take care of ourselves, we can actually give more to others. And then when we help other people out of love, it makes us happy.
It's like a cycle, you know? And helping doesn't have to be some big, huge thing. It could just be listening to a friend who's having a hard time, helping your brother or sister with chores, even smiling at someone you don't know.
Yeah, little things matter, especially when the world feels kind of crazy like it does sometimes.
I agree. And it's okay if you can't do everything. You don't have to say yes to everything. Focus on what you're good at and the things that you really care about.
That makes me feel so much better.
Yeah.
I always feel like I have to do everything, and then I just get overwhelmed.
Don't worry about being perfect. Just keep trying. God's always there to help you.
This has been such a helpful conversation. I get it now. Loving yourself and caring for others, they really do go together.
I'm glad. Remember, you are loved, you are valuable, and you have so much to give to the world.
Thank you so much for listening to Teen Compass. We hope this has helped you sort through all of this.
Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. We'll see you next time.
Until then, keep navigating life with confidence.